Alexa Bliss fans are going to go absolutely nuts over this. And in this video, I'm going to tell you exactly what that news is because it's something in which we've all hoped, we've all dreamed about. Alexa Bliss has been away from WWE television for over a year, almost 2 years. We haven't seen her since January of 2023, and oh, how things have changed, not only for her, but the company as well. Now, there's been a lot of talk about Alexa Bliss as of late. Is she returning? Yes. When is she returning? Well, that's what we don't know up until now. More on that in a minute. Look, Alexa Bliss has always been someone that fans have gravitated towards. She has a very loyal fan base who wants to see her succeed, whether that be a babyface, a heel, a typical Alexa Bliss gimmick, or a female version of The Fiend. Either way, fans just want to see Alexa Bliss on television. And the good news is, we're getting closer to it. Now, look, a few months ago, there was reports about, well, Alexa Bliss, she's training for her in-ring return, something in which Alexa Bliss has confirmed. She's mentioned on social media that she's training yet again. She's shared photos and videos of her training in the ring, hitting her finisher, working out at the Performance Center down in Orlando. And then there was a report stating that Alexa Bliss, she's simply not going to be returning to WWE television in 2024, and that disappointed a lot of fans. Now, the reason for that is due to logistics. WWE is winding down. They were building towards Survivor Series. They're building towards Saturday night's main event, and there's no real reason to bring her back just to put her on television if there's not any clear-cut plans and a notable storyline for her. Now, a lot of people, including myself, thought, okay, that makes sense. Let's save something big for Alexa Bliss. Maybe let's save her return for the Royal Rumble. Now, that leads us to today's video because PW Insider recently came out with a new report that has fans talking, and once I saw it, I knew I had to talk about it here with y'all on the channel. PW Insider reports that while the exact date and details of her return remain under wraps, the belief within WWE is Alexa Bliss will be back in action by WrestleMania season, which kicks off with the Royal Rumble in January. It's possible she could even return sooner than that, but WWE is carefully considering the best way to reintroduce her into storylines. Now, keep in mind that she's been off of WWE television since January of 2023 at the Royal Rumble. She worked a women's championship match that night, only to be written off of television, with her last appearance being with Bray Wyatt and Uncle Howdy, something in which that they had been building up for some time. Now, the original idea was Alexa Bliss would take a few weeks off. She had planned vacation at the time, and that she would return to WWE television, being once again paired with Bray Wyatt, something in which they found success during the pandemic era while Bray Wyatt was portraying the Fiend character, and they would go off into this new version of the Fiend. Not Bray Wyatt necessarily, but you get the gist, like that aura, that element. Now, unfortunately, Bray Wyatt was pulled off of WWE television due to a heart issue, which he ultimately passed away from later that year. On the flip side, Alexa Bliss, her and her husband welcomed their first child together. They had a daughter. A lot has changed within WWE. A lot has changed with Alexa Bliss. The good news for Alexa Bliss personally is WWE's schedule has never been more relaxed. They've never given more time off to both staff and talent, which is a good thing considering that she has a family and she's been used to being home every day. You cannot count that. You cannot forget about that. Like, there's a personal side to this industry. It's not about just going out there and entertaining fans. It's also dealing with family life, dealing with day-to-day struggles, grinds, sacrifices, etc. Now, and I've talked about this here on the channel before, but it's like, what do you do with Alexa Bliss once she returns, right? Do you go back to the original Alexa Bliss character in which got over in NXT and got over on the main roster and where she found her most success, a former Raw Women's Champion, former SmackDown Women's Champion? Do you go back to the Fiend character? Do you try to bring some kind of aura back from that character? Is it a hybrid, which is something in which she did a little bit prior to the alliance with Bray Wyatt and Uncle Howdy, right? She would make her entrance with the Lily doll. And if I had to guess, they're probably going to bring the Lily doll back because it sold so well, right? WWE, they will try to profit off of anything, championship belts, t-shirts, you name it, including dolls. And if you're smart, and Alexa Bliss is, she's probably going to push for, hey, let's bring the doll back because she gets those royalty checks, right? And they sold a ton of them, and that's why they did it the last time. And I would assume they're going to do it again this time. Now, I've talked about how I do not envision, nor do I want to see Alexa Bliss be paired in any way, shape, or form with the Wyatt Six, led by Uncle Howdy, aka Bo Dallas. Obviously, you have Eric Rowan, Dexter Loomis, and a few others. Nikki Cross. Nikki Cross, former tag team partner of Alexa Bliss, former alliance member of Alexa Bliss. I don't want to see her anywhere near that group, that faction, and I'll tell you why. I feel like it's a step backwards. Now, when the group first debuted, it was a big deal. They opened with a bang, but since then, they've just kind of fallen into the background. They're just background characters. They've been feuding with The Miz and Karrion Kross and his group. And I think at the end of the day, people need to accept the fact that regardless of Bray Wyatt's history, regardless of his legacy, his legacy is not bigger than trying to not only pull up one person like a Uncle Howdy or a Bo Dallas, which what he did before he tragically passed away. He's trying to bring up several people who, regardless of whether they have a stint of success here or there, has never been pushed as upper card talent. They just haven't, right? And so I think that's what we find of like your Bo Dallases, your Eric Rowans, your Dexter Loomises, your Nikki Cross. It's like, they're utility players. They're not top tier talent. So I don't want to see someone like Alexa Bliss necessarily be aligned with them on television. I think that would draw her stock down. And I understand that Alexa Bliss has a loyal fan base, but at the end of the day, she's been gone for 2 years. And they're going to have to reintroduce her, as PW Insider indicated, in the right way. They're going to have to make it known, hey, this is a former champion. She is super duper over. She's very popular. She can play a heel or a babyface, whatever you want. She is a absolute rock star of a gimmick character. She can play any part you ask her to. Give this woman a chance. That's what they're going to have to ask this fan base, because a lot of people remember Alexa Bliss, but also there's a lot of people that don't know Alexa Bliss, and that's going to be an interesting balance that you try to do.